y'all? It is me, Joni. I'm back with my first story time educational leadership story. I already said that. Something that just recently happened to me, but some things that I learned from leadership education that I actually had to put into practice. If you are interested in more leadership-based content, stories, shared experiences, things I've learned the hard way so that maybe you don't have to, please leave a comment. Make sure you subscribe. Let me know what you're into and what's not, and let me know what you think. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about a couple of things. One of them is going to be how to lead up and how to do it successfully, semi-successfully, I think, in this experience, and the 5 types of power. How do you get people to listen to you? Because that's really one of the things as a leader. If no one's listening to you, then who are you leading? Yourself? I guess, technically, right? On this experience that I just had, I was an operations officer for the first time. I had a team of 7 SPCs, platoon commanders, that worked basically for me, but in an operation sense. So anything training related, I was making sure things were locked on, they were getting to it, making sure they knew the plan, etc. With these platoon commanders, usually in an operations billet, you are outranking the people that are underneath you. Which brings me to the 5 taxonomies of power. So the 5 taxonomies of power right here for your reference: legitimate, expert, referential, coercive, and reward. These are the 5 things that are basically what drives people to listen to you, or to get people to listen to what you're saying. With an operations officer billet, having the legitimate power of the fact that you outrank people usually gets the job done. Will everybody agree with you? Will you have a coercive or cohesive team? Maybe not, but they're still gonna do what you want them to do. Going straight down the line, expert power is something that you get from being basically a subject matter expert in your field or whatever you're talking about, being a recognized expert, showing people that you know what you're talking about, you are a credible source, and you're not just gonna be driving people straight into a wall or leading them astray. They're definitely gonna trust you and probably gonna listen to what you have to say. Referential is based on relationships. If you already have a relationship with someone, or you're able to build a good working relationship with people, then they're probably going to listen to what you have to say because you've built a trust level with them, right? Coercive power has to do with using negative repercussions to get people to do what you want to do. Reward is the opposite. So are you giving them things to praise what they've done, or saying, hey, if you do this, then you can have some ice cream afterwards? Getting right back to the story, I'm already at a disadvantage because of the 7 platoon commanders I have. 2 of them outrank me, and 4 of them are the same rank that I am. So what sort of legitimate power does that really give you over a team where only 1 of them I outrank? Not very much, right? So then you have to go back to the rest of your list of powers to see what you can leverage to get people to listen to you. So in this sense, I would love to say that I had expert power and everybody just implicitly trusted me because I knew exactly what I was doing, but no. This was the first time I was doing an operations billet. Actually had no idea what I was doing and had to rely heavily on other people to help me along the way, especially my bosses, my OIC and my XO, and my logistics officer, to basically help guide me and make sure that I wasn't driving everything off the train track. So that led me to my first question of where I was reflecting and thinking about during the actual training. Does not having expert power mean that you can't be successful if you already don't have legitimate power over the people that you are trying to lead? Absolutely not. So I think something that saved me was the fact that I had referential power. And I wouldn't say referential power over people, but I would say referential power with people. So as I was going along trying to do team building, I'd have a lot of one-on-ones with my SPCs, and I actually started to build a really great relationship, especially with my majors. They were awesome, and dealing with them and working with them really taught me a lot about followership and how you get buy-in from people based on the way that you act when you are not in a position of power. So did I do everything perfect during this training where everything went smoothly, nothing went wrong, and everybody trusted me and everything went a-okay? Absolutely not. I'm sure that there were many more flaws that my team saw that I may not have, and there's plenty of stuff that I saw personally that I would love to go back and change. But the thing that I learned the most from doing this is A, I don't like operations. B, you should be pushing yourself to do things that you are not comfortable with, especially as a leader, because even though I didn't really like the experience, I know that if I had to go back and do it, I could do it and I could do better next time. So it's all a learning and a growth process. And the third thing that I learned, especially from my majors who were working for me and with me, was that being a good follower means that you are buying into the leader that you have in front of you and trying to help them make them better if they aren't at their best already. Something that I think that we fall into as leaders is really embodying the humble leader or humility and having the wherewithal to acknowledge, like, hey, I may be smarter than this person and what they're doing, but right now that is not my lane and that's not my job, and what they can use is my support and probably my expertise or their level of expert power to help somebody else do better for the team as a larger whole. And I think just for myself as a learning point from the back end, looking over the training and the past couple months that we did with all the planning, is just to remember that even if you are not sure or haven't done the job or whatever you're doing, if it's the first time that you're doing it, don't be afraid to ask for help. I think that everybody can relate to them doing a job, no matter what it is, for the first time. And if you're just gonna try to pretend like, hey, I got it, I don't need anybody's help, I'm gonna show that I can do this all on my own, you are probably gonna fail. In all reality, you're probably gonna fail in some way anyways. Even if you were an expert and you are still doing something for the first time, you're not gonna be the greatest at it the first time you do something. All in all, while I thought I was gonna talk about how great I was at getting people to listen to me, what I'm coming to realize from that training that I learned is that the followership of the people that I had working with me and under me really helped me to succeed in this role. Would I have been able to do it without my people? I think we hear that a lot from leaders, but really, truly, and honestly, if my team wanted to see me fall flat on my face, I probably could have and would have, and they would have not suffered at all. They would have still been able to get the mission done without me doing my best, but they had my back, they looked out for me, and I would say of the 5 taxonomies of power, referential is the one that's gonna get you there.